Night, the AFL-CIO president spoke to an audience at Harvard. He held nothing back. And joining the company from Washington now to weigh in on those remarks is Mark Mix, president of the National Right to Work Committee and Legal Defense Foundation. Mark, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Now, good to see you, Stuart. Thanks.
Richard Trumka, I mean, he really laid it. He played the class warfare card big time. Now, does that tell you that Trumka unions are really gaining in power within this administration?
Well, they're certainly gaining in power in this administration, but from a public perception, they're losing power and they're desperate. Their numbers are down, their rhetoric is up, and you know, it's ironic that Richard Trumka talks about hatred and violence. They need to get some bigger mirrors over at the AFL-CIO, because when this guy was the president of the United Mine Workers Union, violence, intimidation, coercion were tools of the trade for this guy.
How much are their numbers down? You're talking about unions within private enterprise. They're down, right?
Yeah, we're down to about 7.2% of the private sector workforce is unionized. We have more government union members in America than we do private sector union members. The UAW, the United Auto Workers, announced last week an 18% decrease in the numbers in their membership rolls. So they're struggling, and they've got a revenue problem too. Stuart, we need to remember this is a private business as well.
Yes, indeed. Now, you're obviously anti-union. Okay, got it. Now, let me just relate the argument that pro-union people lay upon us, and that is, we need more unionization because unionized workers receive more money. They make more pay. And at a time when the middle class spending power is shrinking, or certainly holding steady, we need more high-paying jobs that are unionized to protect the worker position. What do you say to that argument?
Well, first of all, Stuart, I don't think being for voluntary unionism is anti-union. The real anti-union position and anti-worker position is the policies that union officials adopted that they have to have legislative compulsion to keep their members, as Robert Reich said, strapped to the mast.
Let's not beat about the bush, Mark. You don't like unions. You don't want the spread of unionization in our society, now, do you? You are anti-union.
No, I don't like compulsory unionism, Stuart. And unionism that is voluntary, like the Samuel Gompers unionism of the early 1900s, is what we would ascribe to, and you know, compulsion, there's no lasting gain from compulsion. Gompers knew that. So we're anti-compulsory unionism and the manifestations thereof. Now, the idea of workers' wages and unionism in America and the spread of unionism, I think if you look at the numbers, you'll find that union workers and non-union workers, when you compare apples to apples, non-union members across America are better off than union workers. You know, the only policy that Richard Trumka espoused in his speech at Harvard was more government, and bigger taxes, and that's why Americans are angry. Not just union members, Americans are angry.
All right, Mark Mix, we hear you. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Come back again soon. Got it.
Thank you, Stuart.